Got him about 12.
Hi guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. I've checked the data connection. It seems really fine. You know, I've got 5 bars. We're on 4G, and yet it just froze on my end. So I'm not sure what happened. So we're back on.
You know, you research it. Just research it yourself. No, of course you can't fly. So you're still more dense than the air around you, right? You haven't become Superman.
But you're still bound by the laws of physics.
Yeah, I am. I am.
I'll
tell you what it's done for me.
You want to ask some questions? I'm about. Oh, she was laughing a lot there. She's going to burst a blood vessel.
Yeah, I'm just going to get a cigarette.
30,000 people worked on the Apollo. They all know he's
Check a leaflet there. There you go. There you go. Check a leaflet. Check a leaflet there, buddy. There's a great website. Loads of information there. There you go. Leaflet. Take a leaflet there. Oh, you got one. It's okay. Right.
What's it called, man? I'll see it. Rubbish. I understand that.
Oh, that's great. Are you sure it's rubbish?
Yeah.
What have you been taught? Oh, right.
given up 13 times and he's losing the most of any make.
I watch this on YouTube. She went to see Muhammad. She wore the thing. They said that they don't believe Jesus.
The CGI. A real photo? Not real. No, there's not one real photo. The side I was with him every now and then. He was doing this tour, so I was like,
Mate, where are you from?
from Devon.
Devon.
But
No. What it is I want to know, is this your campaign? Is this what you set up?
well, it's not my campaign. But there is people all over the world we're investigating it, and it turns out that the stuff that we were taught probably wasn't true.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Oh, it's not on. Yeah, go on.
So, I mean, like, have you come across it yourself?
Nah, but this is something that I've gathered myself.
Right.
I've gathered this myself. I've been doing my own research on this, and I've just seen this now, and I've been like, hang on. And I just walked over and just having a little read now. But I seen you with the camera, so I thought, you obviously...
I saw in YouTube several months ago, there is an association for this. They are campaigning this one.
Get away from it. Government controlled. There is the Flat Earth Society. Is that what you're about?
I think so. I don't remember, but what they are trying to present something like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've never met a globe denier, a flat earther that belongs to that. It's just
No, it's not a big association. It's just like a person like you.
Yeah.
You give some people who are believing in what you're saying.
Yeah, well, we're not
So they are trying to kind of campaign.
We're not even doing that. We're kind of just like asking you to critically think this yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe go to a website and check it out for yourself. No, we don't want you to just believe what I'm saying. Not a chance. But you've come across it. What was on your mind when you?
I was basically researching what you explained to me, and it's just shocking, man.
But since I realized that the trip to the first trip to the moon
Yes.
was a fake, if it was a fake. I came across, yes.
Yes. Are you confident?
I'm very confident with that one.
That's when I came to realize probably NASA has a lot of fake information, apart from the moon thing, and so I started kind of seeing this. Probably there could be some truth on that. I haven't got into so much detail in this one, but as far as the moon observation thing is concerned,
That's what our first photographs and that came from. You know, like of Earth, and that's what was sold to us as being
Do you believe in the universe? There's other things out there.
not in the way that maybe that we were taught. You know, like,
The solar system, do you believe that exists?
something up there.
Yes, $1,000,000%. I'm glad you said that.
There's something up there.
Yeah.
We see something up there.
They seem to be going up there, but we don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
they
if-
know.
And if you think about it, of all what technology we have on Earth, we should all be flying up there by
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
You know, but they're holding things back, aren't they?
and
They say that we're going through hell now.
Yeah.
why
There is heaven.
why do you think
You're brave though.
Could be
You're
the-
brave because you know what you're doing here. I know people that have spoke so quick the truth, and they're quick to get grabbed.
Yeah.
They're quick to do whatever to you. They could section you off tomorrow saying that you won.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's been known in the past. You're
that
brave
might
when you're
happen.
brave.
probably according to your research, what do you think were the reasons to put these lies? I know about the moon.
Ooh, it's a
It
tough
was
one.
Cold War battle and the stuff like that.
Yeah.
Superiority in terms of technology against Russia. But what about
It's
this one?
something that this is why we're here to get you guys to research this in depth yourselves. You can't be looking for what I think
Of
because
course.
it's too big a subject. This is. I mean, I will throw it out. My personal thoughts about it is possibility that they're hiding more land.
Yeah.
If I'm an agnostic, but if God did exist, yeah, they could be hiding God. Could be. As in, you know, like, because the very thought of everyone being an atheist, I
Religion
find
is mind
that,
control.
But I don't think people should be an atheist. Of all the things in the world that you don't know, religion and believing in God, that's something that you don't know. You know, like, so you should just remain neutral on that unless you have some spiritual encounter or you've done some research that affirms what
I
it is
believe
that
in
you.
vibrations, good energy. I do.
Well, there you go. That's probably why that you're drawn to this because so many people talk about that. I find that.
I'm about meditating and you know what I mean, like the universe, nature. Do you know do you know the NHS? Do you know when you go to the NHS and get your medicine and tablets?
Yes.
I take a step back. I'll go to the forest, mate.
Oh, right.
The
that's
forest.
brilliant. Yes, of course.
For example, you know when you get stung in school, they say get the dock leaf out down there. You know the dock leaf, yeah? Aloe vera plant.
I've
For your
always said
face.
this about depression. You know, all these people around the world that are, you know, depressed. Not go and take a walk in a nice forest.
And
You know.
I tell you what, all these painkillers, paracetamol, everything, it's all sort of man-made drug. It's all there to go for you.
So have you got any kind of, when did you start kind of putting this information public?
Just getting on for 3 years ago.
Is this your full-time job?
No. I do have a full-time job.
do you
I've
do?
got to start work on Monday.
What do you do?
Since-
I actually work at repairing, fixing, maintain, installing all the scales for all the supermarkets. You know, like Tesco, Sainsbury's, and
Shop
Co-op.
fitter.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you a shop fitter?
Not a shop fitter, no. But so basically, you go in the produce and you see, you know, the scales that you put your apples and all of that on. I'll repair them.
Okay.
When did you
Machine
start
cabinet
researching
or something like that?
When did you start researching this? For how long you've been researching this one?
Yeah, probably about 3 years.
Oh,
And it was difficult at first. At first, I was in a denial about it, although a lot of it made sense. 4.5 months of researching, and there's a thing on there called cognitive dissonance. I don't know if you've ever come across that.
cognitive what?
Cognitive dissonance. It's that bit there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so have a read of that, cognitive dissonance, and tell me if you think it might apply to you. So I was struggling with that
Yeah.
Okay.
because I was holding on to the belief that we do live on this globe. You know, like, and there's certain things I had to let go because I had no proof in that. So we needed to start from the beginning again and let go of what I've been taught, and let's research again.
Where did you get the inspiration from? The idea of going in depth with this one?
That was one of the first videos I watched. I watched like 15 minutes of it. A lot of it made sense, but I turned it off and went to bed. I thought I'm not going to watch that again. I looked at the ceiling, I was staring at the ceiling for hours, and then I went back downstairs.
You're right then.
And then I was on my journey. That's what, you know, like, you can watch that video.
What did you say? Go around one way. If you go around one way, why would it make a difference? If you go around different because it's window on the door. Why does it make a difference? No, you're missing the point. No, you're missing the point. If we're on a ball, mankind always wants to be the first to do anything. Do you agree? Nobody's ever navigated, circumnavigated.
Sorry guys, they didn't want to be on camera, and we should always respect that. If they're asking nicely, if I'm bullied into it, then no, they're getting a camera in their face. Just got to tie this up a bit. It's getting a bit, the wind's taking it a bit. Sorry, one sec. The wind blew it before, and it's not that windy, but we did have one big gust. Yeah, we could do with a few people to come down here today. There's quite a lot of interest.
Where would they meet?
No. Is that one of them? Okay. Is that one of them, buddy? No?
Almost to it. Right, every day. North, south,
Yeah, again, Barry's he's having a good conversation there.
that's north, that's south. Nobody ever goes around north, south, north. We can go east to west and west to east. On both.
You see the sun
On both.
all the time.
Both.
What do you mean? You go,
I mean, you can't see the sun side if you're not facing the sun. Hang on, we're on about navigation first. Navigation. No, on both of these, the north, go east to west, west to east, you turn. But on that, you go east to west. But on here,
you know what I mean? Right there.
I mean, how come the flag was blowing? Just on the
We're right off there.
you know,
That's it. Doing something like this. He really knows his stuff. Any questions that have been fired him, he's got an answer. He gets right back years and years and years. Well, these people listening to we sit for hours on it, kids, just listening live. I don't deny it. It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, people have laughed at it a few times because when you go to one of these conventions, what to find out with the club. A lot, that's not about flags, it's about lots of other things, isn't it?
There is, whether you like it or not, there is a community.
And there's a lot more than people think. Just give you leaflets and don't ask me any questions. The other people that are doing say, God, no, I don't know.
I don't understand that.
We don't have a model. We don't have a model. That's just
I
to
don't
present
know
with us.
how they knew back in the 1700s because there was no technology back then, so how would they know?
If you get a torch, right, that side's dark, and then when it's dark,
Gravity back in the 80s and 90s. Is that right? Like they knew about gravity more. There was like technology more in the 80s and 90s. So how would they know back in 1797 when there were no GPS and things like that? So.
Have you ever thought about it before?
Yeah, I have actually. But where would we end if we was flat? If we were just in a square box? You know what I mean?
Give you an idea.
If it's flat, how would it look?
Well, that's it. I mean,
Like that there.
we don't know how it would look. We've got an idea.
And when people go around the world, how does it go round?
So we've got an idea of maybe where the continent is.
If we're on this side and the sun's this side.
Ali! We don't know what is beyond, let's say, Antarctica. We don't know what that is.
Yeah, but say if it did look like that, right? How would it take it from England to I don't know, Brazil?
Are you saying, so if I was here,
and then to Brazil, say if you wanted to get a plane from Brazil to
well, we see
Australia,
sunrise.
do we go round here?
When we see sunrise, we see it from the
Keep
horizon.
zigzagging.
But that would just be
Let's say yachts and planes and that, okay?
Yeah.
They don't necessarily travel in a straight line.
Yeah. Who was it who said the Earth's round? Who
you saying that?
Or is it Ferdinand? Oh God, what's his name? It was the other chap before that.
Oh, Christopher Columbus discovered America there.
He got to a waterfall, yeah. Fell off the side.
See, do you see about the programming that we've had as children?
Apparently,
You know, like to put that image in our
discovered
minds.
America.
You know, like that, there is an edge of the earth. There is. I don't know if you've got that image of the galleon ship like going off the edge. It's there. It's like, well, why is that there in our
We
mind?
discovered Australia there because we used to send prisoners to Australia back in like 1700.
Family in Australia. Yeah, that's okay.
And we'd kidnap people from Africa and send them to fucking America.
We actually and
We discovered, we invaded
they
America.
come to England as well. They went all over the world. They did.
Nah, but England was making the nets to catch villages for, weren't they? They used to have black people setting the black people up.
Yeah. Well, it's a big subject that.
That's what he's moved, eh?
Yeah. Would you like? Oh, you got one. No problem. Yeah. Have you come across this before? It's a big subject right now. It's huge. It is. We're questioning what it was that we were taught. Because when we were taught where we live, when we were children, we were never given any proof. Proof what? Okay, let's say.
Oh, the Earth is flat. Oh, you think the Earth is flat?
Well, it's observable.
Oh, I see.
We're just asking questions. About.
Oh, okay. No, you listen.
It's getting a bit windy here.
Yeah, it is.
Had a few conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
Any good ones?
Well, the last one was brilliant because we really went beyond the flat Earth, and we were talking about royalty as well and the control system. It's really good because he was quite interested in this idea of the idea that we're special in the creation, but not really going down the old school creation of Adam and Eve thing, because then obviously you've got the problems of that. So yeah, it was a really nice conversation, really sort of opened up, and really sort of realised that it's not about proving the flat Earth, it's more about disproving the pole.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But really nice person, really open person.
Yeah.
So it was really beautiful. It was no like animosity or anything like that.
Yeah.
No triggering. It's just beautiful.
YouTube, starting a jar, YouTube. And that'll cover your stars for you.
But so you're saying, wait, so you know you said it's not a ball. What else is it? What else would make sense?
You can't be a frisbee guy. You can't be a flat.
Well, most of the earth is water, 2/3 of the earth is water. Water is used in the spirit level, a levelling tool. Water always finds its own level. Over 2/3 of the earth is water. It can't have bending water.
So you're saying it's flat?
No,
So
it's certainly not a ball. It's certainly not a ball.
Because if you're saying that water can't curve, then it must be flat.
It's not what we're taught. It's not.
He's not trying to give you stuff that
I don't want to
he
get.
doesn't know. He's trying to tell you what it is that he does know. It isn't a ball that you live on.
We've looked for
We're asking
curvature.
for proof of that. A claim has been made that you live on this earth, on this planet. Okay? It's like, and then when we ask, well, why is it you guys believe in this? Okay.
Spherical
For me,
trigonometry.
it would have been them photographs that we see from space. That would have been. Well, I don't need any of the
But the
proof. I've seen
photographs and you can
That's
tell
the
that
longest photo,
because
Chuck.
you can go and look at each NASA photograph from the 60s up to now, and nearly every single one is different size of continents, colour of water. Nearly every single variable you could think of a planet's colour, shape, size has changed from the 60s, and these are meant to be real photos taken from satellites. So you think about that, and you think, if the actual proof of the world being round is fake, why do I believe it? Because you've been taught it from school, and you've been told that in your entire life. From the youngest you can remember, you've been told that the world is round. And then when you question it, you don't think it's true because you've been hearing it every single day of your life, seeing it every single day in your life through movies, through media, through nearly every single thing you've ever watched, that it's round and it's a globe. So when we say it's flat or it's not what you've been led to believe your entire life, you question it and you don't believe it.
We present with that spherical trigonometry. That's the longest photo taken without infrared. 273 miles. There should be a 3-mile drop. But you can zoom in and see land you shouldn't see. 273 miles, a 3-mile drop. Even allowing for a little bit of refraction, you would not see 273 miles. This lighthouse is 10 miles. There should be a 66-foot drop over 10 miles. That's what we're presented with, spherical trigonometry. But you can see the actual lighthouse. A 65.
Yeah,
I'm not the liar. I'm not the liar. I'm not the liar.
You have to ask them.
We're not. It's not.
I don't know why you have them amazing shoes on. I need to ask you, why have them amazing shoes on?
I like them.
So we need to ask the liars.
Because I'm not a flat earther, but I've watched videos from people who are flat earthers, like Eric Debay. I've seen his videos on YouTube. I'm not a flat earther. I will say I know a bit about it. I know what they believe. I know some of the theories that they have, and I'll say it's definitely interesting to think about. Because you think like this, right? Isn't it quite a coincidence that the Earth and the Sun and the Moon are the same size in the sky? Even though they're meant to be, one's meant to be massive and one's meant to be tiny.
One's really close and one's
The distance,
really far away.
coincidentally, the distance is the same amount as how big and far they are. So I can't remember what the exact number is, but it's either 400 times or 400 times smaller. So the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but 400 times closer, and the sun is 400 times bigger, but 400 times further away. So it's quite an easy explanation for why they're the same size in the sky, but one's massive and one's small. Because the thing is, okay, so since you don't believe the Earth is flat because you haven't got proof of it, the round Earth model came out before they could prove it themselves. The flat Earth model came out about 500 years ago, before they could go into space, before they could see it, and it was made by people who worship the sun, Jesuits. So when you have someone who worships the sun making the model for our solar system, the sun's in the middle. So as you can see, there might be a bit of bias here. So when they worship the sun, they could say, oh, we're not in the middle, sun's in the middle.
We're in the middle. It's not.
Because if the Earth's flat, that means the universe and everything else revolves around us, which would mean we're special. Because if we're not, if everything doesn't revolve around us, think about that. If everything doesn't revolve around us, we're not special whatsoever. Exactly, and that's one reason why they perpetuate the global model. Because if nothing means anything, they could say anything they want. Nothing means anything. Like let's say there was a flat Earth. Let's say the Earth is flat, right? And let's say God created it. Then the Earth would have way more importance than it does in the global Earth model. Because not only does global Earth disprove flat Earth, it would also make a lot of the arguments for a creator or God null.
Just stand still and look down.
Because because then the Earth isn't special. It's random. It was made randomly. It was formed randomly and not by a creator. So if you believe the Earth is flat, I think it's nicer to think that the Earth is flat because it means we're here for a purpose and nothing's meaningless. We're not a meaningless speck in the middle of nowhere flying around millions and millions of miles per hour around the sun that means nothing. We actually mean something if the Earth's flat.
Universe. But if it was flat, would people fall off?
No, because, well, and again, this is the thing. A lot of people, when it comes to this stuff, think they want to know everything. You don't have to know everything to believe something. Like the flat Earth model, it can't be proven. One reason it can't be proven because science won't let it be proven. Simple as. So that model right there actually is used by the United Nations. If you go in the United Nations and look at their flag, that model will come up. Why isn't it a globe? You can go on. I'm not even joking. You can go on the internet right now, search United Nations flag, and you'll see that logo. Not a globe. Not any other structure. This one right here, the one in the middle.
But they leave Antarctica off.
What they believe is that the sea is so the world's a disc, and that Antarctica is a ring going around it, and then everything else in the middle. Which is also why you can't go to Antarctica on your own. You can't just go and have a flight to Antarctica to have a nice trip. You have to go guided by scientists or guided by other people, or it has to be very controlled. So you can't just go to Antarctica, which is another question. Not only that, there's a treaty that has made it so that I can't remember how many countries, but quite a few big, powerful countries in the world control Antarctica. Like literally, they kind of own it because there's stuff there that they don't want to see. So imagine if one of those things was, let's say, the edge of the Earth. That'd be one of them. But not only that, stuff like flight patterns in planes. Like a plane won't go straight from South America to Australia. It won't do that. It will go from South America, then to Australia. Because let's say the Earth's round, but it wouldn't be easy to just go round the bottom of the Earth because it's shorter distance than going from here to here to here. But if the Earth is flat, it isn't because you've got to go all the way around the bottom of the Earth, or well, the bottom of the circumference of the Earth.
Makes more sense on a flat Earth.
Because if you go on the internet, type.
You have to think about fuel as well, right?
Yeah, but obviously, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why does it make sense that? But the thing is, if from here to here, on the global Earth map, is the same distance from there to there, but it just don't go that direction.
Nobody's ever circumnavigated north, south, north.
Yeah, and I don't think there's
Every
ever
day
been
people go east, west, west, east. Every day. Nobody's ever gone
straight around
north,
the globe.
south, north.
Yeah, no one's actually gone like around the entire globe from top to bottom. And obviously there might be a reason for that. Again, I'm not a flat earther, but I know I've seen a lot of videos about it.
If you were on a ball with a compass to the south, how would a compass work on a ball?
No, not only that, think about this,
if you were
right?
south, how would a compass?
Planes, right? Planes don't tip their nose every 5 minutes, which they should. If a plane's going in a straight line, which it would be, because it has enough force to go up, so it'd have enough force to go out, right? If a plane is going basically straight, right? You would have to tip its nose very often.
But they don't, they're slightly up, gradiently up.
Like a plane never tips its nose once during a flight. And not only that, if the Earth was...
it can go down without tipping its nose.
Wait, I'm very confused. So you're telling me the Earth's flat?
I'm saying there's another... I've seen you question the integrity of the government and the school system you've been living in.
He's not saying that. He's just getting you to question it. That's it.
I'm not saying the Earth is definitely round, definitely flat. I'm saying question things sometimes. Not everything.
I do philosophy.
Not everything. You know. You hear. Don't believe everything you hear, but you never question anything you hear in school. So
I questioned it.
I mean, there's experiments you can do yourself. If you go to the shore,
a lot of people don't question what they hear.
With a zoom lens, you can. That's something that you do yourself.
My name's Shamari.
You can actually do that yourself.
Are you live?
That was pretty. I am like that was pretty.
When you're at the sea,
Oh, thank you.
watch about
I get it. You're saying you're not a flat earther, so you research both sides.
Yeah, I see both sides, and I've watched a lot of Eric Debay's videos. Actually, I was watching the one on evolution that he did recently. It's interesting stuff. Interesting
Saying
stuff.
to these guys, whether you believe in the ball or
It's not. Watching Flat Earthers Flat Earth videos, and I'm watching another guy called ODD.TV. It's less about trying to get someone to believe something. It's more getting to question what we live in. Because again, if let's say the Earth is flat, that would cause a lot of questions for other things as well. So then, why did they keep it hidden for so long?
so like, becomes the biggest lie.
Yeah.
If they topple this one,
Then there's a lot of them have to come down. So yeah, I think not only that, I think it's even though I'm not a flat earther, I think if the Earth was flat, it'd be a way nice place to live in because again, it's more important. Then it's not. That's a meaningless speck of dust floating through nothingness.
what do you think's holding you back off? What do you think the problem is?
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical at everything.
Because that's what was holding me back.
It's not. I'm just skeptical at everything. Like it's not that I don't believe it. It's like I acknowledge it, and I think that's one thing that might be true. But I'm not gonna say, boom, there you go, because you shouldn't exactly. But at the end of the day, like I guess.
You might get there all the way in 6 months' time, whatever.
But yeah, I think everything's interesting. I think like obviously the nature of a lot of things that tell us isn't true. Like again, like you said earlier, I think they put fluoride in the water. That's just one thing that they do. And again, people might not know that. People might know that, but it messes with you. It's something that happens, and this might be another thing that like the thing is that everyone calls conspiracy theories crazy. This that they're insane. But I don't see the problem with questioning things. What is the problem with questioning things? Because sometimes conspiracy theories are true. Look at MK Ultra, when they were brainwashing and mind controlling American citizens, and then everyone was like, "Oh, it was a conspiracy theory," until it was declassified.
I think you can just look at cigarettes. Let's just look at cigarettes.
Cigarettes, they literally cause cancer, but they're addictive, so people smoke them. But then, really, if you think about it, they shouldn't be allowed to even be sold in the first place because they cause cancer. Why are they allowed to be sold? Money and greed. Just like a lot of other things. Salt in food. Low-fat food makes you more obese because there's more salt in it. Low-fat food makes you more obese because they market it so that you want to buy it. And then what they do instead of putting fat in it, they put tons of sugar in it. And sugar's addictive. Sugar's more addictive than cocaine. So there's a lot of things that they don't tell you. Like there's only 10 companies that own all the food and products in every shop. 10 companies. There's only 6 companies who own all the media, films and television in the entire world. 6 massive corporations that own nearly every single piece of media, news and film we can watch, and that isn't control. Like I think money is just a way to control people. That's all it is. Money, like not only that, contactless payments are such a great and great thing for speed and getting things done fast. But the benefits of tracking and control again, like because let's put it this way, in the Depression, banks. Because they wanted to buy stuff to keep the economy alive, would literally take off a certain percentage of money, even if they would tax it themselves. So like the thing is, in countries like Germany, they're trying to make it contactless, and then the entire country is basically voting saying no, we don't want contactless payment everywhere. We want to have money for freedom. And then you've got I think there's one country in Europe. Might be Sweden. It's one of the more progressive countries who are making it contactless completely, and they even give homeless people card machines because that's how widespread contactless is. But at the end of the day, if you really are on a contactless train, contactless, it tells you exactly where you are, who has the card, who spends the money, what they spend the money on, what time they spend it, where they spend it. If that's not control, I don't know what is. If that's not control, I don't know what is.
The pressure in a liquid, it increases.
I don't know.
And the difference in pressure.
Because the thing is, like,
and if
it's just it's weird things to get people on board with because they don't want to believe it. Because at the end of the day, not only is there a lot of misinformation when it comes to school, they've made it so that they'll have people think people are crazy for believing something. Like, if you have a conspiracy theory or think something isn't the way it's been portrayed in media or film, then you're instantly classified as crazy or insane, or this and that by media, because crazy conspiracy theorist has become a term that can describe anyone who doesn't believe the status quo. And at the end of the day, why can't you disagree with something or have a different opinion on something? Like stuff like, I don't want to get into it, but 9/11. 9/11 is a good example of this because the budget for investigating 9/11 was less than the budget that was used to investigate the president's affair. So when you have the biggest event, terrorist event in American history, and probably the history of the world, having less of a budget than an affair, that's a pretty telling sign. Not only that, you can see news footage of people, of a crisis actor, saying the exact thing that the massive budget for the investigation of 9/11, the biggest terrorist event again, was saying the exact same thing before the investigation came out. And you can find the footage online, and more footage. You can see people saying that there wasn't planes. You can see people saying it was bombs. You can see people saying that the building was taken down with bombs. Like there's a certain technique that people demolish buildings with, where they put a bomb on each floor, and they'll have a bomb go off on each floor at the same time, so that you'll hear. And you've got footage of 9/11, the Twin Towers, having the same exact distinct sound of bombs going off on each floor and falling. Not only that, you've got 3 buildings falling that day. There was 3 buildings that fell that day, not just the Twin Towers. There was 3. The one that never got hit, and coincidentally is on the same day as 2 massive buildings getting destroyed. All what they'd have to do is do the exact same thing on the other building and do it without telling anyone else. That's what they have to do. And then you've got the fact that no plane parts were found. People say, it was too hot, so the metal melted. You can say it was, but at the end of the day, the melting point of aluminum is up in the thousands of degrees. So a fire isn't going to be that hot, even if it's jet fuel. I've seen that. That's so dumb. That was so. You literally see the plane go straight through the building, go out the other end, and then if it really happened, that other end would just have flown off.
You've seen a bird strike on the.
Yeah, I've seen the bird strike at the end of a plane, and the plane would dent.
Why are people buying this? Why
people are buying it because they see it on TV and they believe it. It's that simple. The NSA, one of the people who like to control information, was saying, our mission isn't over till something like this. The mission isn't over till we've got the entire world believing something that isn't true. And that's, I think that's really the point. Like at the end of the day, it's just down to greed and greed.
I think I already know the answer. Moon landing's real or fake?
Oh,
stop it! Oh, you can't let me down.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna say there's some proof that the moon landing is fake. One massive one, one idiotic one is we don't have the evidence anymore, or we can't find the what was it? We don't have the technology to go to the moon. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like, so the biggest achievement in human history, you just lost. The biggest achievement ever. And it's painful to bring it back again. Yeah, sure. Apparently you had the flipping computer that was in a toaster and that sent you to space. But you've got an iPhone that's flipping way more powerful and has way more storage and technological development than any piece of technology at the time of the rocket ship. An iPhone. And you can't go to the moon. Sure.
Are we going to Mars?
Again, same thing with flat Earth at the end of the day. If you look at Mars through a telescope, it looks like a ball of energy. And you know, not only that, then you've got pictures of the Mars. And
Did we send a car up there?
I don't know what Elon Musk's doing. I'm gonna say this about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a cool guy, but also he's an actor. He's an actor. I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna say he's an actor and say always. You know, nothing he's done is real. But I will say, space. I'm not 100% on space. I'm not 100% on anything really. But you know, I will say I like what Elon Musk is doing elsewhere, if it's actually him and not being controlled. So I would say Elon Musk has a lot of merit to him. He's got, you know, electric cars, trying to push solar and renewable power, even though it's slightly worse.
What about the brain thing that the?
Oh yeah, that one. Okay, I'm not sure about that one, but I am happy he's kind of trying to get a leash on AI. I would say the AI thing, definitely don't want that going out of control. But I think it's like, I think the brain one, even though I don't like it and I really do not want that to be reality, I think if AI is going to go this advanced, I think it's a necessary evil. Even though it's going to be used to track us and used to do this and that.
It could be for good.
It could be good, but
I doubt
yeah,
it's going to go wrong.
Yeah, there's going to be some way to tamper with it, to track people, to do this, to do that, and it's, you know. But at the end of the day, if it means we aren't overtaken by robots, it's a necessary evil. And I think technology like that can go either way. And if Elon Musk is actually doing his stuff, it's not like being controlled in the background and he's just a front man, then yeah, I'll say he's doing good work, at least overall, even if some of the things he's doing is a bit, you know, on the fence.
Yeah. No, it was great talking to you. Yeah, bring it here. And your name was again?
Shamar.
Shamar. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah, and on what did you? I think it's the start. Yeah, go to that website. You'll see a LinkedIn message, Jason up with his and you'll be able to see how awesome he was and how everybody loved you.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like just question everything. I think that's the message.
Simple as that.
I think that's the message. I think that's simply it. Because questioning leads to developments. Because if no one questioned anything, we wouldn't be here today in the first place. We wouldn't have anything. No, if no one questioned literally anything we did, we could still be making. We probably wouldn't even got on fire. At the end of the day.
That's right. Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us. Cheers, buddy. He was just a random walking by. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to come here. He was just walking by and jumped in there with Barry and helped Barry out. It was what a great guy. What a great conversation. Fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that. This wind's really picking up now, so not sure how long we'll be here, but it's yes. Cheers, buddy. So I'm going to put this down to get this for a minute. Somebody to dig it, John. The wind's really picking up here. Sorry guys, I know I'm giving you a trip of me putting this back together, but it's I'll be putting it down in a minute if the wind picks up anymore. Yeah, Sorry. Right. Let's see what these guys have been doing. Well done, buddy. You've been doing well. He is. He gets stuck in right in there all the time.
But they're heavily indoctrinated, some. I mean, what one tried to go against the second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah.
You can't have an air pressure next to a vacuum
Yes.
without it disperse into it.
Yeah.
But he tried to argue against the second law of thermodynamics. One was saying mass attracting mass. I said, it's bending the space-time now.
Yeah.
He said he didn't know. Yeah, plenty of conversation.
Daddy was elementary. Oh, bless him so much.
Just running away. So I've got to...
And if you try and stand against it, like you get normally get called a trauma confined, and that's how you. What's that, sorry? Yeah, no problem. I can imagine. Because you spoke out, probably said too many things. Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah, some good conversation. Several of them are going to research it.
You don't get to
Doesn't make a lot of sense. You can research it. And as I say, you get a mixture.
You've definitely had a mixture. So how long did you? How far did you have to come today?
I came from Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Not too far.
Better than going all the way to London.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
The only reason, what's the biggest last time?
No, not last year, wasn't it? Where was it? Oh, yeah, it could have been.
Beginning of that.
Yes. I think it was because I did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it could have done with your help that day.
I think I was at work that day, but
Yeah.
So all the pictures that you
amazing to us. Right.
Some will, some won't. So what? Next.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He had such a blank look on his face.
Oh, you spoke to him already?
No, I was just watching.
I
Then
couldn't really.
it looked like you were just talking right through him. It's like, hello, are you there?
Some won't accept new information. The cup's full, and
You should have had your tweed coat on. Had your tweed coat and that. He'd take you seriously.
The one lad that.
He asked you loads of questions today, yeah.
I can't argue, mate. Everything you told me is. New information.
Yeah. It's hard, it is hard.
And research it yourself, and if you debunk it, you debunk it, you know, you research it yourself.
Instead of trying to feed too much into them, I'm
mean,
saying
the Coriolis.
best thing to do, just follow the tour.
I mean, the Coriolis
You will
one-
learn a hell of a lot.
He was arguing against Neil
follow
deGrasse Tyson. He said, your preacher, Neil deGrasse Tyson, said the field goal was scored because the Earth was rotating underneath. That's the Coriolis, that's what we taught. You know,
Also, people, this website here, FE Start, if you've got a pretty good idea on what else should be on there that I've missed out, just there's a contact page there. You give us a shout and a link, and we'll put that on there because that's what's on there is what I think's pretty cool. You know, but.
I was just telling him, the airplane flight times would be vary if you had a drone or helicopter hovering and the Earth was rotating underneath. You know, it wouldn't land where it took off, helicopter or drone, and they was arguing against. I said, well, that's what Neil deGrasse said.
You'd have to calculate your runways.
Yeah.
No, you know, there's a lot of truth in this.
Oh, right.
I know. That's why these shows up for a nose. They're the 666.
Yeah. The other side. Professional trolls, I guess.
And you know, you see them where they go around with the back symbols and that, right? And even on the Batman belt, you see them and they go, shall we open some wine? And they go, yeah. And he goes, how many? Oh, 6 bottles. What? 6? Yes, 6. Disney, 666. Remember, Disney.
I've never even thought about maybe the audio part of it. You know, like,
Never.
yeah,
You've
no,
gotta
I've been
pay
looking for
attention.
the visuals.
You have to pay attention. It's all there.
Just when you think you got it sussed,
Just when you thought you had, just when you thought you had
There's
it.
something else I've got to learn now.
Yeah. That's why they showed up. I don't play on their team.
Have they been?
My class, my identification number is 36s, but I don't use it. And it starts off JC, and my mother was Mary. Oh, that's what I said about the Holy Family.
Yeah. See, I think I may have been infiltrated by the wife, because I've been with the wife since I was 10 years of age, and their phone number started with 666. Telling you.
My wife, you're saying that. I was married. My wife worked in the security services.
Yeah.
So I was set up myself. A lot of you have been set up and not realising from day one, from who you've been married to who you talk to who your friends are, your circle. It's like Facebook, suggested friend.
Yeah.
Be careful. Even with them two, get away from
Yeah. Yeah. Have they been over for a conversation? They haven't yet.
He went to shake my hand. I said I wouldn't touch you, you're dirty.
I just showed up.
Oh, you heard my answer to him, didn't you?
Yeah, I certainly did.
He went to put his hand out.
I picked up on it straight away.
He went to put his hand out. I said I wouldn't touch you, you're dirty. And my hands are dirty, but he's dirtier than me with his soul. Get away from me. And you see these ones with Ted, because it has ED on the end. Oh, with the D. There's always D for with the dirty crew. I don't even call him the devil, I just call him the dirty crew. And I don't want to associate. Now, you have a choice in life whether you want to hang out with or you don't. I prefer nice people around me. People that will tell the truth, not be dishonest with me. Because if you can't be honest with somebody, then there's nothing at all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And as I even say to the Muslims, Jesus doesn't follow you. You're a liar. And they say Jesus loves everybody. Jesus hates some of them. And I can gladly vouch for that. He does hate some of them. And he would rather see them not exist. I was saying about this, you see the black, white, and the white. Right? See the skeleton in here. Right? This is what you find. I have black computer screens and white pushing out. Okay? All government use this. But don't forget with black will draw you with. It pulls you into the story. Okay? And then if you believe it, alright? Now governments operate on 3 different operating systems as well. Most of them operate on Dell. Alright? Yeah. They're operating on Apple. If you've got Apple products, get them. Don't use them. There's one boy out of the Apple. Forbidden fruit. Remember this? Right. Only one bite. Snow White. One bite. Apple. First Apple computer sold $666.
Really?
You're starting to see the picture.
But then the Android's Google. The
I work,
so you can't win.
But it depends on what you use. Always wear safety glasses if you're using any of these systems.
Yeah,
I worked on programs years ago. There's subliminal stuff behind everything. So while your child is watching that, try to keep your children off touchscreen things.
Yeah.
Dogs pass things by scent and whatever, and hearing and stuff. People can pass by touch.
Yes.
Be careful with them. Government. I wouldn't trust them with a shitty stick.
Well, half the time you don't even need touch, do you? Some people
That's
pick
why-
up on what you're thinking.
That's why I wear these. Oh, I've seen the people. I've seen them sit
What was all that about? Tell us.
That was an interesting conversation. He's actually looked into Tartaria. He hasn't looked into Flat Earth very much, but he knows that there's a control system in place and that we're all being lied to. And so, like, I gave him a link to my blog, gave him a leaflet, and we had a good chat.
Really good.
Yeah.
He went away with a big smile.
He was really open-minded. Yeah.
Done. See, that would be a conversation I couldn't have done. And
And I told him about Martin Luther as well, because he didn't know about him.
Oh,
He knew about
yeah, lovely.
Tartaria, but he didn't know Martin Luther.
yeah.
So I said I'd send him some links.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. There you go. It's not all about global eyes and flat Earth. It can be about mud floods and Tartaria. Just quieting down a little bit. Not sure why. Dinner time over or something maybe. Let you have a little wonder about while it's quiet. This is really where we wanted to be, but we're not allowed to come here. It's all private, this is. There's something going on down there. All I can read, it says satisfaction. By the way, this is my dinner break. I'll just take you on a little wander. He looks one mean bull. I thought that might say something, but nothing of interest. Now, last time I was here. Now I'm going to get a strike now on this stream, believe it or not, all because of someone's is it singing, is it chanting, or it's just a prayer. But because of this is on my stream now, this is now a yeah, buddy. What it was last time I come down and I was live streaming, I got a strike on my YouTube because of whatever's been on what's got. So you get a YouTube strike. I know it's not your fault. That's
right. We give people free Islamic leaflets, we give people a free copy of the Quran, basically. It's just some people don't like that. Quite frankly,
we've got the same problem. Yeah, so I know now, I've got a strike now. It happens every time that I come across these sort of prayers and chanting. I'm not even sure if it is a prayer or what, I don't know. Sounds like one. There we go, so we've got some people.
Can you give me 2 fruits?
Let's get stuck in here, so let's get some leaflets.
Been around about 200 years.
I'll give you £1,000 if you can show me a genuine photograph, a real photograph of the CGI.
Man, I got
not
Google,
a composite.
like.
Not a composite.
Yeah, not a composite.
They're not real
No, I got
photographs.
Google.
They're not real.
And you believe
They're not real.
They're not real.
They're not real photographs. The opener admits it.
I'm being sarcastic. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
I don't get it.
Rob Simon, he openly admits it. But the CGI, Rob Simon. You Google him, don't you? He openly admits the CGI composites.
Alright, let me touch that, so that's probably a good one.
How about all the people who have actually been up there and seen it? Do you not believe them either?
I mean, astronauts are outlaws.
I can't name them personally, but yeah.
And dogs.
Yeah, and you don't believe any of them.
Well, because, I mean, let's say for the moon, for instance, where's that?
360 degrees.
Where is it?
What do you mean, where's that video?
Well, like Coronation Street.
Video of what?
They don't show you the 4th wall in Coronation Street. They show you the 3 walls, but they never do a full 360 degrees. Why not?
Because if you look behind you, there's the cameras and the crew. What's that got to do with the Earth being flat?
No, on the moon they didn't do a full 360 degrees.
Because they don't have the technology to.
Yeah, it was
Bear in mind,
it
was
was
the 60s.
1969.
They had a camera on their chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not one of them.
They didn't go.
turned
They didn't go all the way around it.
What do you mean they didn't turn round?
That's what we're saying.
That's what
It's
we're
hard for
saying.
you to grasp, isn't it?
Oh, so the whole time they was on the moon, they looked in the exact same direction
They didn't do a full
and just moved like
360
this.
degrees. They didn't
Mate.
Mad, isn't it?
I'll take.
Nah.
That's mad because yeah.
This is mad, I reckon.
Yeah.
You gonna say all of it?
The people
Nah,
who,
like,
the people
just-
in
Stop, I don't think
2019
it's flat.
refuse to believe
Other than the photographs.
people who
What proof do you have that it's
What
what proof do you have it's flat?
We're saying that, we're suggesting that. We're actually asking for evidence that we live on a
Nah, I'm
globe.
having fun here.
What proof is there that it's flat?
We're asking for evidence that we live on a globe. That's
I'm asking for evidence that it's flat.
Why did you say it first? We're asking evidence.
Right.
But if you want evidence, let's go do this for yourself. Okay?
There's a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. You watch that.
There is a lot of land that you're not meant to be seeing that should be over the curvature of the Earth, but you've never thought about it. There is a mathematical calculation for that curvature. Okay? It's spherical trigonometry based on Pythagoras theorem. Okay? So it says...
Because that's not anything to do with circles.
Isn't it?
No.
Spherical trigonometry.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras
Triangles.
based.
Well, there's trigonometry then, isn't it?
Theorem. Okay. Well,
Okay. All right. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out.
Just to check that out. Look, on 65 miles, okay, there should be 2,500 feet should hidden, but you can still see the Isle of Man. Okay, that's based on the elevation taken into consideration. The highest mountain there is 2,000 feet, but you can still see it. The White Cliffs to Dover, Calais to Dover, you can still see White Cliffs in their entirety. 300 feet should be missing, but you can still see it.
The Earth is. So you're saying 3 miles should be hidden?
That's 200 miles away, yet you can still see land. You can even go to Tenerife and you can see land.
Yeah,
because
the Earth's so big that you can.
there's a calculation there, and you can go online and just put in curve calculators, and then you can put your elevation in, put in your, and it will work it out for you. Okay? So what I'm saying is, I did my own observations.
Okay.
Okay? I can see 17 miles away from beach to beach, 17 miles away, I can see people walking on the beach. Why is that? I shouldn't be. They should be 40, 50
You're telling me
feet.
you can see. You're telling me you can see.
40 feet.
You can see people from 17 miles away.
With a zoom camera, yeah.
Well, there you go. So you can't see them.
So a zoom camera can bend. You can kind of bend images around corners.
Well,
There's
no.
meant to be 50 feet of. I don't think you're actually listening.
I am listening. I'm trying to take it all in.
Is it hard? So what I'm saying is 50 feet should be hidden. You shouldn't be seeing anyone walking on that beach. But you can. That's my own observations. There is a mathematical formula. There would be, wouldn't there? Would there be a mathematical formula for the curvature of the Earth?
Theoretically, yeah.
I would imagine there would be.
But yeah.
So when you look into that and you find out that it's that is the formula. Once you've looked into it. Because at the moment here on the street, you're not meant to believe a word I'm saying, are you? Not really.
It's not that I don't believe. I'm just trying to get you to convince me.
Well, I'm not here to convince you. That would be silly. I'm here to trigger you to go check it out for yourself. That's it. That's the best I could possibly hope for. I would hope that you're bright enough to know that you couldn't be convinced in 5 minutes from the shape of the Earth, one way or the other.
No, but I'd expect more of a.
Well, okay. What about
more of a better, you know what I mean, conversation about it.
What, without ridicule? Because that's what we're here for. We're here for a conversation without ridicule. Your mate didn't seem to grasp that.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
No, that's
one of them, innit? You know what I mean?
No,
you're not gonna. You're not.
Look at this here. This is Walter Lewin. Walter Lewin. He says that gravity, gyroscopes aren't affected by gravity. That's what he says. Okay. So. I don't know if you've ever seen them in planes and that, and they had gyroscopes inside. Okay, so when flying, you'll see that ascend, you'll see it fly level, and then you'll see that descend. and that'll show up on them on the horizon. So when it's flying to Australia from England, it should go half the what's the way around the globe, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would go upside down. That would go upside down. It would invert.
Well, no, because that's not how the Earth and gravity works.
Well, he says that gyrospheres are an effect from gravity. That's Walter Lewin, famous physics professor. Not affected. They're rigid in space and not affected by gravity.
So, all right then, I've got a question then. If it's flat, how? I mean, I know you've probably heard this a million times. I know it's probably, you know what's coming.
It's either a Y
How
or
do
a-
people not just go off the edge of the Earth?
So,
Because I mean, I've been all around the world and I've never fallen off the edge.
I mean,
so.
I know it's kind of like indoctrination and media programming, why it is. I've never come across a flat earth. When you ask all of these, not one of them will tell you that there is an edge. It's like,
I wouldn't
like
put your hand on
so
me.
it's infinite.
when you're swimming, have
Do
you
not
ever,
put your hand on me.
have you ever
Thank you.
fallen off the beach?
And what?
When you're swimming?
No.
Well, no, because that's how a shoreline works.
Well, I want to.
And then you can have cliffs and that.
So you're saying that
No, I won't.
it's infinite and it just doesn't
It has
stop?
to be contained. That's what I'm saying. So there wouldn't be.
Throw
An
So the
shit
Earth's
at
a box.
yourself.
Sorry.
So the Earth is a box.
Well,
It ended you,
I
you
don't
cunt.
know what it is.
There's no space according to this blog.
There's no space.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, it's.
No, when you get up there, trust
what
me, I've
you-
been up there. When you get up there, it's like the Truman Show. It's all lights and like fittings and shit. You know what I mean?
But can
It's
I,
one
right,
of them,
can I ask
though,
you,
eh?
so,
You know what I
so
mean?
what happens when you get? So let's say the Earth is flat.
Which it is.
What happens when you get
To the
to
end.
the end?
Okay, that's the bit I don't know.
Well,
would you expect me
There's
to?
a lot of convenient stuff you don't know, isn't there?
Would you expect me to someone on the street to just bullshit you with
Yeah.
anything? Give you anything?
Mate, it's Birmingham.
When you get to the edge, you see little green men.
Yeah.
Right, well, what?
I don't know. I've never been to the edge. Why would I
Right,
say
well,
anything? I'm not gonna
I've
say
been
that.
all around the world and I've never fallen off the edge.
Again, did I
He's
not-
been from Australia to England many times.
Okay.
He's never been off the edge.
Okay, what edge? What is it you're talking about?
All right, so you're saying the
You
Earth's
keep
flat.
saying an edge.
So you're saying the Earth's flat.
Okay, what edge?
So are you saying
I don't
is
know.
your whole
It is observably flat.
is your whole persuasion that it's flat? Yeah?
Again.
So let's say
again. Who's persuading you?
Well,
Are you-
all right,
are
let's
you
say
easily persuaded
no, no,
to
so,
do something?
no. So let's say your idea is that the Earth is flat. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's
Is that
it's observably
observably flat? All right. So how do people not?
fall off that.
Yeah.
Again, I was telling you this. Where you
Well,
get
if
this
it's
from?
flat, there has
Because
to
I'm
be
not
an
making
edge.
that claim.
Well, if it's flat, there has to be an
That
edge.
space is meant to be infinite, meant to be ever expanding.
Could be.
You can see the curvature from a plane. How do you explain?
Almost with no object near the other object. You can, like, a bit, yeah.
That's great. We've actually all said that.
I'm pretty sure.
Now, I'm not trying to be flippant, but it'll come across flippant.
Yeah.
Been doing this a long time now.
Yeah.
When people say they can see the curvature, and I ask them for a photograph, have you ever taken a photograph? It nearly always comes back to me. No, I didn't think of that, or I didn't, or I lost it.
Well, yeah, because it's common knowledge. You shouldn't have to take a photograph
What a
to
great
prove
sight to
someone
see.
like
because,
you
because,
wrong.
because in your mind, yeah, you might be seeing the curvature. When you get a photograph and you lay it down on the table and put a ruler across it, you'll find that no, it wasn't a curvature.
Because we're not high enough to.
That's
We're not
right,
high enough.
Exactly.
But if you do go high enough, then you will see it.
So
Like,
what the thing is,
when you're going over like this.
Guys, look at this. That's what you see when you go up, and that's what you see when you get high enough.
So you're saying,
level.
so you're
I'm
saying,
not saying.
you're
That's
saying
what
to
it
me
is.
when I've flown cross country and I've looked at and I've looked out, it's only very slight that there is, or if you're saying that no matter how high you go, there is never going to be a curvature.
So you see that guy there? He went high enough. Okay?
Oh look! Oh, it's a curve.
Yeah.
And that's why we're throwing that in there.
Ain't that something?
We want
Is that fake as well?
so you believe that?
No, I'm.
Do you believe that?
That's a question that you just
Yeah.
asked.
I'm going to answer you. Do you believe that? So basically, that is the entirety of Mexico is 1/3 the size of the Earth. Mexico. That's what you're seeing there. That's what's called a fisheye lens on a GoPro.
Okay, well,
No, it's not.
we use.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's not. It's
No,
not.
no, it's not.
So when the camera tips and it goes concave, and
and then it goes into a big circle, and then it goes.
I wouldn't start talking about cameras because
Yeah.
he's
No.
a photographer.
Well, I don't know a lot about fish eyes and that, but
Right.
basically,
So I've
yeah.
seen.
I've got a human brain that works,
I've seen
so
MiG-29s that go up that high. And,
You've seen a MiG-29 that goes that high?
Oh, hang on. Can you just for a second? You're
come
so
on, you're
rude.
annoying the nice man, Colin, be
Right,
quiet.
so did you watch the James May one where he gets in the MiG-29, he goes up and he sees
No.
stuff like that? You haven't seen that one?
No.
Yeah, James May. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he shows you the curvature of the Earth, just like that.
Yeah.
But you actually see the curvature of the Earth on the ground, the runway. And when he tips, you see it going concave. That's what you see. But you still think that the whole of Mexico is 1/3 the size of
I
the
just
Earth,
reckon
and
the
you
Earth's
bought
a ball.
it, and you're a photographer, but you bought that when he was there, and you're a photographer.
What's wrong with that? That's how it looks like.
You're not a good photographer.
Oh.
You can't be.
What do you do for a job?
What's that got to do with it? I'm just telling
I don't know,
you that
you're
not
saying
a
I'm-
photographer. You can't be. If you can't tell
You're
the
a
difference-
fucking nut job,
if you
standing
can't
here saying that the
tell-
Earth's
Don't get
flat.
abusive with them, man.
Sorry,
If
sorry.
you can't tell the difference between a fish-eyed lens.
Have you think? What do you think the Earth's flat still?
What's that got to do with it? We're talking about fish-eyed
No,
lenses.
but what do you think?
that
No,
isn't
he
tough
just
on a-
said.
Whoa, whoa, we're talking about one at a time,
That's
guys.
not
One at a
tough
time.
on a
One at a
fish-eye
time.
lens,
One at
is
a
it?
time. One at a time.
That right there, right, the way is above,
Yeah, innit?
is literally a tiny part of America.
No, let me have a look. If that was a fisheye lens, he'd be curved as well, and he'd be a lot close to the camera.
He's close to the camera, that's why he's close to the
He's
camera.
close
Well,
to
if
the
he was
camera.
close to the camera, it would curve
He's
him
close
as
to
well,
the
'cause
camera.
that's
He's
how
about
fish eyes
fucking
work.
10 foot away from the fucking lens.
Could you answer my
Have you come
question?
across Neil deGrasse Tyson? Have you come across
Yeah.
him? He even tells you that that is a fish-eyed lens. He tells you.
Well, could you answer my question?
Okay.
Well, can you?
And he says at that height you should see
But I'm not-
flat
I'm
and
not-
level
I
at that
came
height.
here.
I was just trying to speak to him.
Well, I might be wrong then, but you know, you think the Earth is flat, so I don't really care what you say.
Observably flat. And we're here questioning what we've been taught.
Of course, it's
That's what we're doing.
observably
We're
flat.
questioning.
We
You
are.
bought it, you believed it with no proof. What proof have you got? What proof
For
have
the
you got
Earth to be round, for us to see it, standing out and say that is a sphere, it'd have to be about this big. Do you know how big the
So
actual
what
planet
informs you
is?
that you live on a ball? What is it? You believe in something. What informs you?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we've just agreed that you can't see curvature. on the
Well, you
plane.
can because I've seen it
Well, you can
myself.
now.
But he's gonna go.
Did you take a photo?
No, I didn't. Sorry,
No, you
mate.
didn't. It's funny that no one else.
I know.
has.
Yeah, it is weird that I should take a photo every time I'm on a plane to prove someone like you wrong.
I think
But
you
next
should
time I'm
now.
on a plane,
Please do.
I'll do that. You know
Please
what I
do.
mean?
So what else informs you? What is it?
Oh,
What's the
mate.
talk that informs you?
I'm not. Get him to get a photo, man. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. My man, he said there's no stars, none of that.
There's no space.
But in the night, you see the stars, innit?
See some
You
sort
see
of
the
lights,
stars,
luminaries, don't we? We're told that they're
What's it?
we're told that they're trillions and quadrillions of miles away. That's what you're told.
Yes, that's true.
Where's the proof of that? So we're asking
Look,
questions. You're
li-
believing. You see a light in the
Wait
sky.
till about 11
you see
o'clock.
a light in the sky, and with no proof whatsoever, you've accepted the narrative of what they've told
Well,
you.
we don't have
Where's the
first-hand proof, do we? But there's people. No, shut the fuck up for a second. There's people who devote the whole life to proving and understanding what's
And
actually
we're asking
out
for
there.
that proof. It's not out
Well,
there.
go and read a book then.
It's not out there.
Have you never heard of scientific journals where they write it all down? That's the proof.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not out there. Go and look for yourself. This is the thing that's astonishing. This is the thing. 3 years ago, I couldn't believe it myself that there is no proof that them stars are trillions and quadrillions of miles away. How could they prove that? Think about that. How's that proved?
Advancements in science, people actually working in the field,
What?
writing
Which?
down the
What?
data.
What? I thought that. I could just say, science says, science says, science says. What? What science?
If you wait till about 11:30 at night, you will see the stars.
Who's what's it said that you don't see lights in the sky? Who said that?
How
I haven't
is the
said
government
that.
going to put
I
lights in the
agree.
sky?
Of course you see lights in the sky.
How would the government put the lights in the sky then? Let me ask you that.
What are you on about the government?
Okay,
Why are you straw manning me and putting words in my mouth? I never said that.
Okay,
Why
what's
are you saying
your
that?
point of view then? Just tell me.
There's lights in the sky. Your education told you that they're trillions and quadrillions of miles away. I'm
Yes.
telling you now, Where is the proof? Go read all your science books. Go speak to scientists. They will bullshit you, and they will not come up with any proof whatsoever on the distances of these stars. That's what I'm saying. Just use your own critical thinking and ask questions instead of just believing it. Oh, someone said so. That's what I'm saying.
I'm using my thinking. I could see the stars. I could see
something.
Everybody believes in God, but you haven't seen him, have they?
You can focus it.
God's different because this stuff you can actually corroborate.
You see lights like plasma balls that you can focus in on. Not random stars trillions of miles away. That's what you see. Go and get yourself a P1000 camera. Zoom straight into it.
Are you sure they're not
focus into
nebulas?
it. That's what you see.
Are you sure they're not nebulas? It's just the clouds creating forming stars.
Use that same camera and try and focus into something else a long distance away and then aim it at them stars. And once you realise that you're focusing on that, on what it is you're seeing, it can't be trillions and quadrillions of miles away. It can't be.
Earth is flat. How are you explaining the oceans going in a circular motion then?
Yeah,
Ships aren't just falling off the side.
Off the side? I've never said that ships fall off the side.
I've been on
Have you ever been on?
I've been on a ship.
I've been sailing for years. I've been sailing for years.
You've never been on holiday?
There's no dip. It just goes off.
When you say it goes round and there's
So
no
like you
dip,
can see,
how could you
at night you'll see this. You will see this at night. An edge. You'll see that at night on any ship. On any ship, you will see a flat edge to the ocean. But that's because the mountains are far out into the distance. So as you approach closer, they can start to see land. So you start to see the landmass. So I don't understand, because I've seen this experiment done. This one with the boats, and you know whether if it's curved. Yeah, I've seen it, and it has been disproven
by who?
Well, you can go on YouTube and watch any scientific video that disproves that.
Well, I watched the National Geographic one. I don't know if you've seen that one. And they showed you a boat. They were putting a laser on it. They had this like striped flag. They put the laser on it, and you could see that the bottom flag, it actually it disappeared. And they said, oh, because it's disappeared, then it's because it went over the curvature. What? I haven't finished yet. I haven't finished. So with that stripe, because it disappeared, everyone believed it. They believed their narrative, their view on it. What they didn't see was the water behind that boat just went on and on and on. That was higher than the boat. But everyone still thought that they could see the curvature, that because the bottom of the flag, there was a dishonest program.
So
and that's what
about the new planet that they just discovered that's a sphere?
How do you know that? Which
the Hubble telescope. It's just the Hubble telescope has just discovered a new planet.
That takes
150 light years away from us.
How can you verify that?
But it's a sphere. That new planet is a sphere as well. What do you mean? So you're saying that they're just they're like
you know they can't even verify and prove the distance to the sun.
Alright, what's your views on the moon?
They can't even prove that.
Fake news.
What's your name, sir? What's your views on the moon then? On the moon, yes. Is it real? Is it fake? Because that you could see, you could clearly see that in the night.
Do you think Mars is a sphere?
So you believe in the moon?
Do you think Mars is a sphere and the other planets?
It looks a bit like that to me. It looks a little bit like these. Every time I look in my telescope, what's it look like to you?
We're obviously not looking at Mars, then, am we?
What's it look like to you when you see it?
What, Mars? Oh, I've never seen it. Yeah, but I'm asking you. Well, you are. You're chatting bollocks here, mate, and like the Earth's flat.
I haven't said that.
Yeah.
See, again, you are straw.
What shape's the Earth then?
It's observably flat. When I look at sea, it's observably.
Of course, it's observably flat.
Then I can't prove it. I cannot prove it. So I would.
Are you a scientist? Are you a scientist?
Is that what it is? Is that what informs you? Science says.
No, but you can see the shadow of it.
You can't think for yourself. You've just got to inform.
Why do you think there's this big conspiracy that science is out to get us?
You can see the shadow of the moon. When you look through a telescope, you can see the shadow.
I haven't said anything about them. Sorry.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you said it was similar to the shapes there.
No, I haven't said anything. This is this guy here. He's.
Yeah, I'm
about
saying a lot of gibberish.
the flat Earth is disproving their own theory? They bought a £10,000 laser to measure the yeah, and it concluded that the Earth was a sphere.
And was it the flat earthers that edited that video?
No.
But it doesn't matter because they haven't come out and said it was a lie.
What about
they
all the
said
other experiments that they didn't actually put in
but
there?
they said the words themselves.
What
They,
about-
they even said that it's showing
What about the
what.
explanation that Durin, who was in there, what about the explanation that he provided?
Yeah,
that
no,
wasn't added?
all that he provided was that he was going to do a
Because you
different
didn't see-
test.
because you didn't see the...
But his test didn't work. It didn't conform to flat Earth, so he ran another test.
Well, basically, he explained what the 15-degree rotation could be. Yeah, he explained that, but that wasn't added to the editing, even though it was presented before they finished the editing of that. But it wasn't put in there.
They need to send one of you up on Virgin Galactic when it comes.
Have you ever been on holiday?
I'm not talking to you no more. I find you so rude. I'll speak to everybody else.
Oh, fair. Can I ask you one question though? Have you ever tried LSD?
What is it
Have you ever
that made you...
Have you ever tried acid? Have you ever tried acid?
Just say, what is it that's definitive in your mind that the Earth isn't...
Great. Well, as long as you feel, because you're going to stay in that denial forever, that's good. Would you like to say something? Sorry, you were about to say something before.
You ever took LSD?
Well, no, I didn't say that. I have to respect what people say because I don't know no more than you know. Yeah. What did you want to know?
No, you were asking a question before, and I couldn't get to you because of him.
Oh, that's what it was now.
I know it was ages ago. I'm sorry.
No,
that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, you know Patrick Moore?
Yes.
He's a top man. Some of these theories are all wrong then. You know, Sir Patrick Moore, he died.
But which one are we talking about? Which one are we talking about? What theory?
Well, some of these theories, what he used to say about space and all this, do you think there's life on other planets and all that?
Well, I just don't know. I mean, I choose not to give an answer on something I couldn't possibly know.
No, nobody knows, do they?
No. So I
then,
wouldn't answer
is it
that.
just opinion, I guess? You know what I mean?
Well,
Different
yeah,
people's
that's
views.
that's what we're pointing out. There seems to be an awful lot of opinions. That's what we're pointing out.
Yeah,
we want
I
proof.
appreciate that.
Well, you
So
can
no,
answer my
I want
question.
proof
And
of
a lot of
this.
the science is just, it literally is just opinions, theories, stories.
You didn't answer my question though. The point of science is that it's not an opinion.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course. Sorry.
Right,
Oh, it's a bit heated over there.
I've looked at some of this stuff online, and I'm also a computer scientist.
Okay.
So I'm studying at BCU, but I'm really interested in like what sort of observations have you made to reach this particular conclusion?
I went down to a local beach of mine. Stood on the edge of the promenade. I could see people playing about. This is with a zoom camera. It was a P900 at the time, so you're familiar with that, yeah. So stand on there, and 17 miles away, I can see kids playing on the beach. And because of you might be aware of the curvature calculator. And anyway, so that's meant to be hidden between like 40, 50 feet of water. And I wasn't meant to see the beach entirely, but I can still see. So I did my own observation, and I come to that conclusion because I came across, observations like that. That's Blackpool, 65 miles away. The highest mountain is 2,000 feet, yet 2,500 feet should be hidden. But you can still see it, and there's so much evidence of people do. That's collated over. 300 feet should be missing. The highest peak, admittedly, is 350 feet. So we should just see a few peaks of it, 50 feet. But you can see it all in its entirety. That one there's 273 miles away, yet you can still see land. 3 miles should be hidden. Can you imagine how big 3 miles high is? But 3 miles should be hidden. You go to Tenerife, you can see all the lands in the distance. You're not meant to. We weren't taught this at school, that there'd be a mathematical formula that would tell us, and show us that, like this should be hidden under the curvature. I was never taught that at school. And yet I'm now finding out that you can see lots of land that you shouldn't be able to see. There's a guy on YouTube called Jay Tolan. You watch he's got an infrared, because a lot of this land we've never been able to see because of air density, air pollution. You can only see so far. But here's where he's been using infrared. And with this infrared, he's been cutting through so much of this air pollution and that. He's got land, that you can see 600 miles away. He's actually got one that says it's 1,200 miles away, but even me, I find that hard. It's debatable. It could be a cloud or what, I don't know. But he's definitely got land that you can see 600 miles away, which is not a chance. You're not meant to be seeing that if we live on a ball globe.
So, I mean, if I had an Argos catalogue, I could list endless amounts of images of land use. That's my biggest reason why I'm researching. It's almost my only reason what kind of brought me to this. You know, like it's land. There's so many other reasons why. Look, guys, I'm never going to convince anyone here on the street, but
it's very interesting.
But there's a website there. We're asking people to just watch a few videos and make some informed choices yourselves.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right. See, that was and thank you for that. That was well. I seem to have a proper conversation without ridicule. This is the bit that we don't get.
I mean, I'm a scientist, yeah, and the thing is, you've got to ask questions. You've got to query these things, and like, you know, all the stuff that I've looked at on YouTube, I'm thinking, this is very interesting. yeah. And I just want to know more, without the emotion, without the name calling, without all the weird stuff. Exactly. And it's just ego, you know what I mean? Someone just wants to show up, I'm so... It's just embarrassing, especially in the 21st century.
That's right.
When everything's supposed to be up for debate now. So I question it all, you know what I mean? Me personally, I want to go into space, and I want to see it for myself. Because we know that, sort of like NASA, for example, they recruit a lot of visual artists. I'm also an animator. And a lot of these they're composite images.
Right, okay.
This is well known. You know what I mean?
Well, it wasn't for someone like me.
Yeah, exactly.
All of that was sold.
Exactly,
I bought
yes.
a lot.
Yeah,
It was sold.
You see, you know, it's composites, or they've extracted the digital data from the visual cameras and then reconstructed it. I mean, come on, I just want to see stuff, and know that it's, you know what I mean, and like, I just find it fascinating, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm swayed either way. I just want to know.
But you're looking into it.
I'm looking into it, and I have every right to.
As an adult in this day and age,
as
to
a
do it
granddad,
without ridicule.
As a granddad,
I don't believe you.
You know, and I think you guys should get a fair hearing. You know, free of all the ridicule and all the weird stuff, because it does nothing for the opposing argument. You see.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It does nothing.
They can't just keep pointing and say science says, science says.
Exactly.
They can't do that.
Can't do that.
I want to know what does science say.
Exactly.
There you go. You right there, guys?
Right for a record.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, hello guys. Yeah, so a lot of the people on my page don't agree with flat Earth.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so I want to know, what's the most compelling evidence you'd say towards it?
Okay, it is, and if you aim at there, it's that. That's for me. This is my evidence. Okay. So when you look at land that should be hidden over the curvature, there has to be a mathematical formula for the curvature of the Earth. This is what it is. You know, like it says. For every mile, there should be an 8 inches per squared drop, okay? So you got 8 inches and 32 inches and 72 inches, it just gets bigger and bigger. This is Dover to Calais, and 300 feet should be missing. But you can see the entirety of Dover. The highest peak is 350 feet, so you should only see maybe at the top of one of the little peaks, but you can see all of it. That's the Isle of Man, 65 miles away, and 2,500 feet should be hidden. The highest mountain of Snaefell is 2,000 feet. So you shouldn't be seeing that at all. Never mind whether you can see the bottom, the sides, or whatever. You shouldn't be seeing any of it. It should be over the curvature.
Can't find any curvature.
Well, that one there, 3 miles should be hidden. And that's 273 miles away.
Lighthouses.
So when I seen all this, I thought, hang on, you know, like I can't just take it on face value and believe it. So I'm going to check it out for myself. So I went down to a local beach of mine, you know, like in Brixham, stand on the promenade, look out to see. I can see Exmouth. I can see people running around on the beach in Exmouth with a zoom camera. Okay. So why am I seeing that? They should be 40 or 50 feet hidden below the curvature. But I could see it.
You see lighthouses.
Yeah.
You see a 60-foot lighthouse 10 miles away, there should be a 66-foot drop. You shouldn't see the lighthouse. Never mind the beam.
But why do you think they're lying to us?
That's the big one.
Is it, who is it? NASA? Or is it the US government? Or is it all the conspiring? Because the Cold War, US claimed that they landed on the moon. They were in race with Russia. Russia's got a space agency, China, India. Are these?
I think they're all connected, all of them. It's
Yeah.
all the same organisation.
In
at
the
end of
same
day.
bed.
But
Yeah.
look, I mean, I don't have any direct proof of why and how and all of this lot. You know, like to get some lies, you need to ask the liars.
Yeah.
You know,
Going
like,
back to
all
Kirby,
you get is just
Going back to Kirby,
my ideas.
There's a lake in Bolivia. It's over 100 miles long. It's 50 miles wide, and it's ice. It freezes over in the winter, and it's like a mirror. And when it rains, it's like a mirror. You can see the reflection of the cloud, everything in it, and there's no curvature on it. Ice wouldn't bend. If you get a mirror and distort it slightly, you know there's curvature on that mirror. If you distort it slightly, but it's a perfect mirror of the clouds. Over 100 miles long.
That's a really good point.
So what,
50 miles wide.
So do you guys believe that, like, so do you believe that it's like straight and then like a bend over, or is it just totally flat, or can you fall off on how?
This is why we don't claim to be like a flat earther, because we've no proof of any of this and that. It's the best that we can say is I'm a globe light denier.
So
you know, like
so the Earth is not.
So what them pictures I just showed you, that's observably flat. It's observably flat. That's the best that we could offer on that. You know, like it's observably
It measures flat.
It measures
navigated flat.
It navigates
navigated
flat.
flat.
Even like what's it? They've uncovered like all the NASA declassified pictures, and it says that that these planes are flying on a non-rotating flat Earth or something. Yeah, that's what it says. It says something like that.
Does this stem from any religious teachings or anything from yourself?
Yeah, this is a big one. This, you know, like I remain an agnostic, you know, like stuff. So it's a difficult subject for me to get into. I don't know either way. You know, I believe that if of all the things in the world that I don't know, that's just something I don't know. You know, right? So I remain on the fence, and
search for the truth in it.
there is. I don't know. I'm not sure what Bible that you are reading. If you are reading the Bible, the Quran. Okay. I believe that there's lots of passages in the Quran that actually says mentions.
There was
different
scholarly consensuses in the past. Some said it was flat, and then later some said it was round. It's not really a creed issue, so we believe that it's just, if you have that opinion, that's cool. If you don't, you don't. But for yourself, if you're saying, okay, you're denying that the Earth is round, I am actually with you on that one. I think we have to see evidence for that anyway. But where do you go from there then? So you're saying that, okay, the Earth is not round as they say.
Well, the first thing right now is exactly what you guys are doing right now. We're just trying to bring this to the public and make it acceptable just to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because you've got, we call them trolls. We've got two guys here, and all they're doing is ridiculing it. And if they had stones, they'd probably throw stones as well. You know, like that's all they want to do. We should be able to, like what we're doing right now. This is a social acceptable conversation.
I had one troll.
That's what we're.
I had one troll. He actually wanted to go against the second law of thermodynamics. You can't have an air pressure gas pressure next to a vacuum without a container. And he was going against the second law. That's a natural law violation. Second law of thermodynamics. He was going against that. I had one going against the Coriolis. You know, but there is some who are going to research it. So just research it. Research it. I ain't asking you to believe everything. Research it yourself. And
no, of course. That's one. Thank you for joining.
Wow. Yeah, you're right there.
I wanted to come back because I wanted to know which website to go on to find the live stream.
Yeah, well, as I say, you go to Globe Live, the festart.co.uk, you'll see if you go right down the bottom. Oh, damn, did I take it off? What, did I take it off? Have I taken myself off? I took all the people off. I didn't realise. I'm sending everyone there. I'll have to put me back on. Yeah, so it's Jason of the Disbury family. Put that in, Jason of the Disbury family in YouTube. Damn, I'm sending everybody to FE Start, and I haven't even put my channel name in. It's because I felt so that myself, I'm just not important enough to be on there, so I took it off. Jason of the, that says Disbury. Oh yeah, that'll do. Awesome. There you go, buddy. So there you go.
We've had a couple of really good conversations there. It doesn't have to be from bloody idiots, trolls over there. The big egos trying to satisfy their egos and say how wonderful they are because they want to score points on something they have no idea whatsoever. So, how have you enjoyed it so far?
I'm not a virgin anymore.
Oh, that sounded bad.
Yes, it did sound a bit bad.
What did you do behind that way?
I went for a coffee.
No, it's, yeah, really interesting, and I've had good responses.
So you've had good ones? Oh,
Yeah.
I've only had one
Yeah.
bad response from the idiots over there, you know, who are still here with the ginger hair and that.
Old skateboarders.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, I'd have to say, you know, like when I'm out, it's 90% good, and there's a few
There's always
idiots.
one. Here he comes.
You know, it's not too bad. But this is what we're trying to do. It's just so that can be, you know, that you can talk about, you know, without ridicule. You can just talk about it. That's what we're here for. You know. Can I help you guys?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Wow, that's the best you can do now.
I mean, to be honest, mate, if there's people like you out there,
oh no,
we might as well just quit right now. You know what I mean? You're basically saying that every person who's ever done any sort of scientific pursuit is basically wasting their time because you haven't seen it. That means that thousands of people that have corroborated it means that it's still your opinion. No, you can actually say something back.
I'm just here to listen to you, mate. I came to listen, didn't I?
You're here to fucking talk to people in the street. You're not going to give me any time. What? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
The Earth doesn't have an edge, but it doesn't go on infinitely.
Apparently there's no space.
Stars don't exist according to Earth.
As I say, that's the 10%. So I have no time for them. Mate, please, just go away now. Mate, please. Mate.
Stand to the question, I'll go. There we go.
There you go. I mean, what are they expecting? Huh?
Comical.
There is, and yeah.
You don't want to listen. Just go.
But this is.
That's it. Yeah, if you're not interested, just walk on.
Walk on.
Simple.
You're still here, looked.
Yeah. And you know, for those who do believe in the globe, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. We're here to talk about this. That's who's letting you down. That's why we're here. That's why we're out here on the streets, because they're letting you down. You know. Yeah, Barry's still having a go. He's a trooper. He is. Should be able to talk about this.
Do you believe Star Wars happened?
Yeah, oh, you got one. Good.
Yeah, I got one.
Are you going to look into it?
I am, as soon as I get home.
Good.
I'm on a Facebook Flat Earth Society page.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know anyone's ever belonged to that.
Oh,
It's like
no.
a government-controlled, stupid site.
It is all about the government.
Yeah. Disgusting. It's weird how you would bring that up.
Hey,
I don't think any hope for you.
Yeah.
no hope for me, and you believe this? And there's no hope for me?
Come to our
Fucking hell. What a video are
I am going
Someone just took his ball away. Yeah, Barry, you need to come away. Sorry guys, it's kind of weird. Sometimes you get the odd phone call right in the middle of a stream, and it there you go. You got a leaflet there, good. Good. Okay. You got it. I'm just checking. You got a leaflet there.
Yeah.
Did you get one? There you go.
It's been an eye.
These guys think they're on the ball with no proof. So, yeah, right. Have you come across it before?
I have, yes.
Okay. And did you come across them? I thought that was pretty weird. Same size photo on NASA's website, and yet America shrank 1 year later. Kind of odd. Because it was NASA's photographs of Earth. That's what informed me that we live on a globe. So I was quite happy. I was comfortable. That that obviously we live on a
Can I
globe.
grab one of the leaflets?
Of course you can. Cheers.
The whole time, that's hilarious. I didn't even realise. I thought he was calling it to wanko or something.
So we're just trying to get people to go to a website and check things out a bit further.
Will you believe?
I'm not sure yet.
Can't get rid of these guys at the moment. They're just trolling us at the moment. You know. All right. See what?
What's going on? What's going on?
All right. We're handing these leaflets out. Okay. If you want one each. There's
Not for NASA?
There is a website there.
Website for what?
Well, basically, see that one there? See that picture?
Yeah.
That's 1 year apart. That was on NASA's website. You can go and see it for yourself. 1 year apart, and America shrank 1 year apart. Why is that? Because what informs me that I live on a globe is the photographs from NASA. Yeah. That's what informs me. And then I found out that they're faking pictures. Why are they faking pictures? Just give us a proper photograph of Earth. And then I find out that them photographs weren't photographs, they were what we call composite images, where they just take high altitude streams of data, you know, like smaller pictures, stitch them all together and create what they call a composite. They add layering in clouds and things. We've never seen
About for global warming, yeah?
See what?
About for global warming, For global warming.
What's that?
The hot, about the weather.
About the which?
Is it about global warming? That's it.
No, it's not about no, it's nothing about that. We are literally. We're trying to ask for evidence that you live on a globe. That's what we're asking. Yeah. You know, like, because when you were presented that when you were a young kid, you didn't have the ability to think for yourself when you were a little kid. Now that you've got that ability, we're trying to say, you know, like, well, question it yourself. Yeah. You probably never questioned it.
Is that an app?
And that's an app if you want to put an app on.
Okay. Right, thank you.
And it's got some great questions, some awesome videos. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Is that what you're here for then, guys?
It wasn't. And then as soon as I got told I was wrong,
it's really funny.
I'd say a good 15 times. That was when I kind of was like,
you know what? I would have loved just a decent conversation with you guys.
I tried to have one.
You couldn't contain yourselves.
If you didn't believe this, you probably could.
You can't control yourself, can you?
No, it's too.
No, it's just childish. How old are you?
9. How old are you actually?
No. How old
I'm 19. How old are you?
I'm actually 49.
And you believe this? My God.
It's an opinion.
I want proof that I live on a globe. You should be demanding proof. You should.
And you said I was wrong.
As indoctrination.
It's not a religion, though, is it?
It is a religion.
Not really.
You believe it. You have to have faith.
Is that not the
It's scientism.
putting back on us?
Scientism.
Yeah, it's flat Earth a religion.
Is that the same that you're not putting back on us then?
So,
You're trying to indoctrinate us into the flat Earth?
No, you are not.
Big Man McCoy on Instagram.
I know I cannot convert anyone to flat Earth here on the street. That will never ever happen. I'm hoping that the people that I approach that have a critical mind, that they can think of things by themselves without all of this, they can think for themselves and then go to a website and check out some videos. That is my job. And if you're talking about this today, my job's done.
Is that Juliet?
That's all I'm after.
I'll talk about the things that are stuff like this, where you can look over a horizon and you can watch a ship disappear over the horizon.
Yeah, you can.
How does that work?
Disappears.
Yeah. How?
And if you'd have said this to me, and if you'd said this to me before these amazing technology, these zoom cameras that came in, okay,
Yeah.
so we've got like a P900 and a P1000, and then once that ship's gone, and I'm happy it's gone over the horizon because I can't see it, it's gone. And then I zoom straight back in, and the ship pops back up, and I can see it.
It doesn't.
No,
You can
go
zoom
on
in,
YouTube.
you can see
Go on YouTube and
more
check it
of
out
it.
for yourself. Go on YouTube because that's what I thought. And
Hold
when
on,
I'm
Dana,
seeing
I'll
that
call
these
you back.
ships,
If-
that
so,
I can see them from amazing
Is
distance.
this an accurate representation
No.
of what you believe?
No, no.
Why are you showing me this?
Because I will have a reason if you let me.
Yeah,
Because
I haven't said anything to interrupt you.
Because of it shows you north, it shows you east, west, it shows you south. It will show you how the seasons work. That's why it's this.
But this isn't accurate.
Well, no, we couldn't possibly know yet. This is early stages yet.
If it's not accurate, then anything it says here, you're admitting isn't.
But the globe's massive.
Get in. We've had models from going back to. This is a model.
I just said this is
Yeah, we have models with scientific proof.
That's what we're asking.
So back in Egypt,
Okay.
the things were far enough away that they actually realized you had to make things with the curvature.
What? An experiment?
So, no, when they were building.
Oh, when they were building?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not sure the point.
They had to take into account that there was curvature.
We don't do it today. What happens?
We do.
Like what, when?
So there's a massive bridge somewhere in America. I think it's over like one of these massive things. They calculate the curvature of the Earth to build that.
Are you just saying that, or there's proof to that? I can check
Go look it up.
Okay, because I have been looking for proof of things. Like
Yes. No.
I seem to fail miserably.
Oh yeah.
Which bridge is it?
Where can I find your stream at? You're streaming on there. Where can I find it?
You can find it through.
Where is it on here?
Just check out the Birmingham ones on YouTube now.
Is it on YouTube? Oh yeah. How many people are watching? Oh, fair enough.
So
you're looking at a bridge and
yeah, so it's the Golden Gate Bridge.
the Golden Gate.
Yeah.
You think they took in?
So
how
if you
long
measure it between
How long?
how long? Back up there.
Because I don't know if you know the maths.
4,260 feet.
What's that to a mile?
I'm not sure.
Please don't ever touch me. No, you're pushing.
So if you measure the distance between the bottom, if you measure the distance between the bottom and the Golden Gate Bridge, and then measure it from the top, they are perfectly straight. And it is an extra, I think it's 2 feet distance. If it wasn't built properly, it would fall down.
What if it was an inch out? It would fall down or something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So you think?
So if bridges aren't built correctly, over the amount of time that that bridge specifically has been around, yes, there would be major faults, even an inch out.
So the calculation for the curvature is meant to be 8 inches per square mile. Okay? So 8 inches. So excuse me, please.
No worries,
Thank you. So this one. So we're looking at.
You'd be upset if I did that to you.
67. That's.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that's a mile. So we're looking at 8 inches. Okay. So you're saying that. I mean, do you know what it is? How far this is out? And can I?
I mean, yeah, you can look up. Yeah.
Where would I? Is it on
Literally,
Wikipedia?
just look at everywhere. Look.
saying
You can even, if you
Because
wanted
you're saying
to,
a great story, but where do
you
I
can
look?
even, if you wanted to, go to the Golden Gate Bridge, get a really long tape measure, and measure it.
I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe in my lunch break.
Exactly. Well, that's the point. It already
And it's
exists
something
that we
you've
have.
done.
Other people have done it. People that I would trust. The Golden Gate Bridge.
I went there this summer, so
Perfectly straight.
yeah.
Tops are about 2 foot further away than the base.
Who's done that?
Who's done these?
Yeah, people have done it. It's been looked at. I couldn't name. Can you name a specific person who came up with this model?
What model? Well, I'm not showing you a model.
No, that.
Do you remember what I said before?
It's a model. You said it's not accurate.
I just said.
You've said it's not accurate yourself. That's what.
What did I say to you? Let's see how truthful you can be.
You said.
What did I say?
I asked you, is this model accurate? And you said no.
And then what did I say?
That you don't have an accurate model because you don't know.
Then what's it here for?
To give a model to demonstrate that.
Still a model.
Oh, it's still a model. Whether or not you believe it's accurate. Oh no, tell me what's there for.
It's here for you to bullshit people on the street.
I want to.
That's what it's here for.
Put it here for what? Explain how north and south works and how seasons work. Is that what I said to you?
Yes.
Right.
However, if that is not accurate, how does that explain that?
It's exactly the same way. North and south works exactly the same way in reverse.
So
On a globe from the southern pole. So if you go to in the model of the globe pole.
No. Have you seen like the 24 hours?
In the North Pole though, but if the Earth was flat, then we'd have a 24 hour.
You know what else is on
Pardon?
YouTube?
Where's all the 24
Lots of
hours
fake
in the
shit.
south?
If you understand how it works, then we would have 24 hours of darkness in the north, in the south. We can't go to Antarctica. We're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to go to
What about
Antarctica.
all the people that have been, like?
They're scientists.
Okay, and
Wait.
Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask the scientists for it?
Sorry, I'm not trying to score points.
I'm
It's
not.
really difficult.
No, I mean it would. I mean the question would be then ask the scientists for the footage. But why would they need to have? Nobody cares about that footage though. I mean no, but you'd be the only person asking for that footage because nobody else feels the need to see it.
So they have, what's it, I suppose we had a break. Okay. Many times.
Claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
His claim. That's right. Okay. There should be lots of evidence of this 24-hour sun.
No, 24-hour darkness. But the fact that if we have 24 hours sun in the north, then
There will be an opposite somewhere else.
Yeah. And so then that would mean if we have evidence of 24-hour darkness in the north, which we do, it's called the northern winter, then there's just logical sense that we have 24 hours darkness on the south pole.
Because when the sun,
Because of what? Because in this model, if we had 20 in this model, we get no sunlight and no darkness
Take a deep
anywhere.
breath
That
and let
model
me-
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, deep breath now. So when the sun's going around
Yes.
in that's our summer when it's going around the north.
Right.
Okay, when it's close, that's our summer. It's winter now in Australia. It'd be winter when it's our summer.
Right,
it's
but
winter
if
in
the Earth is
Australia.
flat,
Okay, I haven't
and the
finished
sun's
yet.
here,
So when it gets round to, this is it in Cancer, when it gets round to Capricorn, okay, so the sun's going round, so that's when it's the darkness in the north, okay, and it's round here, but when it's going round here, on a ball,
can you explain to me in this model, right, in this representation, how the sunlight here doesn't go there if the Earth is flat? Because it's a flat
Because
plane.
we don't believe that this is 400 times bigger, 400 times further away. Don't believe that for a second.
No, but
There is
no,
proof to that.
that's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you about the scale of the sun or anything like that. I'm
Well,
asking you
that's-
if the sun is here in this approximate location, in this representation, how did the sunlight not get to this side of the Earth?
I was
'Cause
explaining to you, but you cut me off.
unless you're gonna tell me that light doesn't work the same way that they're telling us now.
Wasn't going to say that.
How does it not get there? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
What's
Thank
blocking
you.
the light?
Thank you. So, if this is a lot smaller, okay, because we're saying it's not 400 times bigger, it's not 400 times further away. It's more local. It's a lot smaller. So, like a
Do you have any proof of that?
So, like a torch beam right now here, if I
Hold on,
shine down here
Let's have a-
on the ground right here, it wouldn't light up this entire.
Yeah, do you know why? Because a torch points light in one direction.
Okay.
But if the sun is a circle, then it will scatter light in all directions.
But what about?
In every direction.
But what about your perspective? Because if we're saying that this is a lot.
Mate, if it's a globe, if it's a
Wow.
circle, it emits light in all directions, like a
It's not a
disco ball.
conversation. It's not a conversation.
It's
It
a
has to be
debate. It's a
two-way.
debate.
It has
debate.
to be two
It's a
ways.
debate.
But it's not. I'm not here to debate.
You're like,
I'll answer, but it's not. I'm not here to debate.
You're like,
I'll answer a couple of
so
questions.
you're here
but
to
I'm
make
not
a bunch of claims, and then have nobody find any difference.
However, you go and look at the
A globe Earth. Why would the UN, who are in on the conspiracy, yes, use the flat Earth?
You answer the question.
This doesn't make sense.
This is
Make sense.
this is the reason why. But why would they use it then? They're not using. They're using that map there, and
That
that's not
exact
flat-
map.
That exact map is on the United Nations flag.
I'm pretty sure it came before someone made this model. And they didn't include that.
Well, this flat Earth map has been going around for a long time. It's not just in the last 10, 15 years. It's been going around a long, long time. This is like what 1700s was it? Yes.
I don't know why I keep losing connection. I've got a good stream. I've got a good amount of data.
It's not a flattened map. That is a flat Earth map.
With the North Pole as the center. If you look at if you go to China, if you get a map from China, where is the dead center when you look at the center of the map? China. Okay. Go to America, get a map, dead center. Where is it?
Yeah.
The UN, the United Nations, who govern the control of the North Pole.
Okay.
Their map, dead center,
is the North Pole.
North Pole.
So
that makes sense.
So
right?
answer one thing then.
It's actually just ice. It
doesn't matter. It's not on them.
Land mass in Greenland. Or is it? You might be around that. Yeah. I might be around. Yeah.
Is the United Nations
this? Because there is reading interpretation of the data. So when NASA tells us the answer is traveling 17,000 miles, so when I say to you, I'm traveling right now, spanning, that's relative. Yeah. Reality. Traveling that speed. That I was traveling 18,600 miles, and then I'm walking an hour. So I was going to say to you, 60,000. No, you're not. Relative. How can you get from 1 miles an hour? That's what they mean when they tell us that's 17,000 miles an hour. So I just want to say that is complete misinterpretation of information and data.
We are travelling at 67,000 miles an hour, or 666. Because remember all of these formulas.
Okay, so that's going to go to the devil thing, right? Can I just debunk that one? The Dead Sea Scrolls proved that the number of the beast was 616, and there were some. No, it's in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were part of the original things. When the book was being translated from, not Hebrew, the one before, being translated, there was references to 616. They thought it was a typo because there were other references to 666. They decided to go with 666, and then they found, oh hey, these scrolls actually say it was 616. Okay. But again, that 666 has no relation to anything biblical or the devil. It's 616 that is actually referenced in the Bible and the Dead Sea Scrolls. The actual is the number. So that has nothing.
Regardless, we are meant to be travelling around the sun at 67,000 miles.
Definitely seems to be obviously money. Big money, then you would be inclined to think something along the lines of the Earth is at the centre, space, then you're insignificant. So it takes away the whole spirituality that there is some higher being, there is some connection to God or something. You're nothing. You're just an accident. It kind of plays into that.
So, sorry. We orbit the sun, so again, this is relative. Yep, I just did. I literally just had a look. So approximation 67 miles an hour. That we travel around that. Our ISS travels 17 miles per hour around us. That travels through. Yeah.
And then all of these stars are constellations. And don't forget, they're all doing their own magical speeds in so many
traveling. Yes.
so many different directions. And yet, since astronomy began, and sailors still use sailors have been using them for how many years and all that. The stars, year after year after year, are still in the same.
In 4,000 years, things are so far away. The distance things are going to move in that time are not going to change for what we see.
Why?
And there are suns and stars that we have seen disappear.
See, that's because you bought into what.
I've not bought into. There are studies of proof that there are things that have disappeared.
What we're looking for. We can't prove.
You're not hard enough then.
Is that what
That's
it is?
yes. You can have a look. Right. Peer-reviewed studies that there are star maps.
Are so far in the distance of the stars. Where is it?
So the stars that you can see with your bare eye are close enough that the distance
I've heard these stories, but where's the proof?
online, peer-reviewed studies, star maps, pictures, telescopes, documentation from thousands of years ago. How do you measure? How do you measure anything?
Measure how far a star is away.
With a telescope, estimations.
You just look at something. Estimations.
Estimations are very accurate. I can estimate that is about.
Well, you have to have a base.
15 meters away.
You have
from
to have a base. You have to have a reference. Sorry, a reference. How?
If I get a telescope,
where did that first reference come from?
If I get a telescope, I look up to the end of the tree.
Right, so what to measure that? You know, like, so if it was Venus, that was the first reference. Venus was. So, like, how did we ever measure the distance to Venus?
I'm going to go in a second, but the distance between Earth and the Moon, you can fit every planet in the system between the distance between Earth and the Moon.
I thought that when I like to why are you being really good? Why are you standing there taking it? That's how old I'm. Hold on, he is father. I think he's good. I was talking to him in the and I said, sure. He said, you wouldn't know this thing. I said, 100 miles in a car.
Still people. I've got perfect signal, but I'm not sure why we keep losing connection. Just a bit of a shame. Had some great conversations, had some rubbishy conversations. I've had lots of trolls. Yeah, but he's still at it. Got a new chap that's joined us who's been saying a lot of things. Did you get anything? Ah, brilliant.
This is about the guy who jumps onto.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a train?
I have.
I don't suppose you've ever actually done that while you're on the train, but what do you think would happen?
I'd probably just go up and down because of it's all relative.
Yes, so it's exactly the same thing.
What,
this guy
what
went
do you
up.
think? What do you think we're trying to say there? It's all about the fisheye lens that's used, because that was the Mexico was its entirety. Okay.
He launched from Earth and he landed with. He went up
Yeah,
at that speed. Was he going up in a balloon?
He went up in a balloon, okay, and then don't forget, Earth was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour below him, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what you said about the train, you did that.
But that's enclosed, isn't it? You're enclosed. He's not enclosed. He's out. He's outside. If I did that on the roof of it, what would happen if you did that on the roof of a train?
Well,
what would happen?
You would still come
the
down
argument.
you'd still come down on the train, because as you're standing on the train, you have the same speed as the train. And that's
on the
in
roof?
order to lose that speed, you need a force to be applied against you.
On the roof?
Whether you're on the roof or whether you're inside the train. Whether you're standing in an open carriage. Now the fact is that if you come down...
How far do you have to get away from Earth for that not to apply?
It continues to apply, which is why...
But we're travelling also at 67,000 miles an hour around the sun. We are travelling also at 500,000 miles around towards Vega.
Yeah, we've got all that speed, which is why we stay where we are on the Earth.
So
if we could lose that speed just by jumping up in an outside area, we'd end up in the middle of nowhere. But we don't lose that speed, because in order to change a speed, you need to apply a force.
Okay.
In order to brake your train, you need to apply the brakes, a force.
So let's say, for instance, a helicopter rises and then hovers. Okay.
Yes.
So Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour below it.
But the helicopter, although it looks to be hovering to somebody standing on the Earth, is actually moving with the spin, because it hasn't lost. By rising, it hasn't lost
part of the spin.
As part of everything here, everything you can see is spinning with the Earth.
Well, let's say it goes in the opposite direction of the spin.
In which case, it's actually basically going backwards very fast, but because you're looking at it relative to where you're going and you're moving faster, it looks as if it's going away from you in that direction.
So would it be a noticeable difference in speed if it's going against the spin? And then when it's going
the spin,
would it slow down?
It's slow. It basically, yes, it's a slow down.
It's the same as what aeroplanes do when they go east to west and west to east.
Yes, but the point is the speed we measure is the speed relative to the ground. But the absolute speed relative to the on the different galaxy would be. And in fact, they're going round in circles as well.
Yeah. But there has to be a point when let's say a satellite or a rocket leaves Earth, there has to be a point when it doesn't apply.
No, for the rocket to move the direction it's going into, when it goes up, so we see it going up, but it's actually going up and round at the same time. And for it to lose that, you need to apply a force. In other words, for it to go, and I've known in order to go to the moon, they've no doubt had to apply forces to get it to go. But they also probably calculated the takeoff such that it would actually do.
So if you believe that
some sort of curve or diagonal to get to the moon. So they didn't actually aim it at the moon where the moon was at the point they took off. They took into account the moon's motion, the Earth's motion, and then various corrections to the course to get it there.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't line up your rocket and point it at the moon to get to the moon.
So, if I'm right then, okay, because let's say the sun, for instance, the Earth and the sun, okay, the Earth is actually going around the sun in an elliptical orbit.
Yes.
Okay. So while that sun is travelling, okay.
Well, the Earth is travelling.
The Earth is travelling along with it. Okay, so as it's going, as the sun is going, and it's hard to picture in our head because four things down, aren't we? You know, like, well, go with me if I can get there. If there's travelling, and we're going in an elliptical, and this Earth is what's it coming back? Then that sun is going away from the Earth. The Earth is coming away from it in its elliptical. Does the Earth have to go faster to catch up because the sun has gone a little bit further ahead? Does it have to catch up? It's got to go faster, and then it's got to go slower?
Depends what you're measuring it against. If you're measuring it against the centre of the galaxy, yes, you would see it would be going faster. If that's not true. Suppose you're looking at a roundabout going round.
Yeah.
So at certain times the roundabout is passing you, times it's going away from you, and at times it's coming towards you. All the time it's changing the direction. It's going round and round, but it's actually the speed. If you're standing on the roundabout, the speed at which the world is whirling past stays the same. But when you see it going through the side, it will look to you as though it's going slower. You know, as it goes right, when it's right in front of you, it'll go whoosh. But as it comes round and will almost seem to stop as it goes to there, if you're measuring its linear distance, linear movement. So it's the same with the Earth and the sun are actually whirling around at constant speeds. But looking at them as if you're looking at a roundabout, it appears from your point of view as though they're slowing and speeding.
Okay. But this is slowing and speeding. You don't have to slow and speed with it. That's what I'm saying with the sun. I mean, like, if the sun is travelling at a constant speed, and then Earth has to overtake the sun, it has to go faster than the sun. Because when it comes back, the sun is still going at that constant speed. This is now going in the opposite direction. So it's going to be further away because that sun's still travelling. So it has to go faster and get in front again.
It's got two motions. It's got the motion which is moving with the sun, and the motion which is moving around the sun. In fact, more because it will be motions that the sun is moving within the galaxy. Of all I know, the galaxy is moving within the universe. It's got multiple motions.
See, what we're trying to ask people to, how do we know all of this? Where is this proof of all of this is happening? Can I put it further?
Because people have calculated where things will be relative to. They've done this, so they've calculated, and when they did the calculation with the flat Earth model, they got more and more and more complex with things going forwards and backwards and inside and out. Right. But when they actually took it to a sun-centric model for the solar system, everything came into nice, workable equations, and you could actually say, I know where Jupiter will be in 10 years' time, I know where Venus will be in 5 years' time. And then they say, oh, she's not quite right. There must be another one out there. Oh, yes, we can just spot Neptune and just spot Uranus. In fact, they were predicted, they exist from these models, which included the sun-centric model. They were able to predict where.
Do we find?
the telescopes, the equipment they've got has been getting better. But I don't believe there have been those really massive changes. But I'd have to look. I haven't got the history of physics at my and astronomy at my
just
fingertips.
stumbled across this in the street. So.
Yeah. But.
So in there, there's a website there.
And again, the saying that the ice is travelling at, that is its speed relative to the Earth.
Yes, of course.
Not taking into account all the other things that are moving.
Yeah. How's it keeping its orbit?
Gravity.
Gravity.
Because it's...
But the orbits are meant to decay, aren't they?
Meant to what?
They're meant to decay, so therefore it needs a kind of like a boost in speed every once in a
Yeah,
while. Because it's meant to be they call it like it's dropping. It's dropping.
It's dropping, slowing it. But again, you put a weight on a string and you whirl it round, and it's constantly trying to go straight. But it's trying to go straight. So at every point it wants to go off at a tangent.
Yeah. That's what logic would say.
Yes, but it can't go off at the tangent because you're pulling on the string.
Because of gravity.
Because of gravity. That string is of gravity.
How can we prove that bit?
Again, everything works on the maths, and between any two objects, gravity works between. But between two small objects, it's so tiny we'd never detect. Isaac uses gravity, yes. It gets more complex when you get relativity into it. My physics didn't really go up to relativity level.
That's kind of the biggest problem.
But you see,
because I was taught that what you things dropping, two masses they're talking to you close together, aren't they?
Yes.
So that's the way I was meant to be.
Yes.
But it's meant to be now that drops because of the bending of time and space.
Well, that's the more, yes.
That really makes no sense. A mathematical concept. To spend on ideas of gravity because
there's nothing. And it's again, if you
in touch with you guys after the tour, probably we're passing it on. Bye-bye. Bye.
There's a lot more going.
Can't ignore it, can you?
See ya. Lisa. Lisa, say goodbye to everybody. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I love it.
Right, so that's it. Yeah, we're finished. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us. And again, apologies for the live stream pants. Cheers, guys.